Hello and welcome to Huddersfield Town's post-match show in association with Sportsbroker after a fantastic 4-1 win over Swansea City. To talk us through the action, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by former Huddersfield Town player Paul Reid and Mel Booth, former sportswriter for the Huddersfield Examiner. How are you both? You okay?
Yeah, fine. Thanks, Adam.
Excellent. Mel, I'll start with you. An absolutely terrific performance.
Yeah, it was right from the off as well. A really, really good performance, and I thought Town were really unlucky to go in at half-time level. The way that they played second half, there were lots of promising things going forward, and didn't really look too troubled at the back. There were a couple of chances for Swansea, but to come out and respond the way they did in the second half, particularly getting those 3 goals in the space of 7 minutes. With the way things have been going, was really fantastic, because obviously we've dropped quite a lot of points from winning positions, and everyone was thinking, "Oh goodness me, is it going to happen again?" And of course, the team responded fantastically well after half time, and deservedly came away with the points, much needed. Obviously, a great relief for everyone, I'm sure. But the big bonus is a really good performance for the 90 minutes.
We didn't really look greedy, did we? Like a side that was without a win in 9 games.
No, as Mel's just said, they set the stall out again straight away. Obviously, the manager knows the way that Swansea would play. They play 3 at the back, and they've battered teams. I've watched quite a lot of games of theirs, and they have battered teams with pure possession-wise and creating chances. But today, Huddersfield set the stall out. I thought the 2 boys up front, Fraser Campbell and what's his name?
Dwayne Holmes.
Dwayne Holmes. And with the added bonus of Bacuna as well. And at times, Hoggy pressing Matty Grimes didn't give him a chance to settle on the ball. And what they did, they sort of let the centre back have it, Bennett, and then forced him to play long. Because what no teams normally do, they'll go and press him, and then they'll just switch it to the opposite centre back, and they'll just keep the possession like that. But they stopped him switching it, and Hoggy done a great job on Matt Grimes. Couldn't get into the game. Him along with O'Brien, I thought were excellent today.
Yeah, the movement as well with the ball, specifically in the middle of midfield, really, I thought was quite impressive.
Yeah, I wrote some notes down. For 38 minutes, the first half, they were excellent. Hoggy got on the ball, he switched it, they kept finding him. The young boy, the left wing back, Aaron Rowe, I thought at times he was really dangerous going forward. Would have liked him to have more of the ball and to force Connor Roberts back. He created the goal, 1v1, bit of skill, got across him. But yeah, they switched it really well at times and played through midfield. The movement between O'Brien and Bacuna and Hogg was excellent at times. 38 minutes, and then they started taking the mick a little bit, overplaying, not moving it quick enough, and just give Swansea, because Swansea are a good team. They got some really good players. And they had a cross. I think Connor Roberts put a cross in for a Bidwell header, got cleared off the line. Matty Grimes had a shot from a corner, and you could just sense, they were, although they didn't play particularly well. I think again Huddersfield stopped them playing, which is great, but they still have a little bit of a chance. And obviously the goal, Conor Hourihane, he should be playing in the Premier League. Although I think that probably was his first touch of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Mel, we started the game again like a house on fire. Fraser Campbell had a goal disallowed after 11 minutes. There was a penalty shout just before his goal. And then Fraser, he got the goal that he's rightly deserved for all of his efforts over the last few games.
Yeah, and I think it's come, as Reedy said, I think they were, they were finding ways to get forward, denying Swansea possession and actually using the ball really well, which is something that we've struggled with at times this season. But it was a really good move in the first place. It was good to see Aaron Rowe involved, as Reedy's pointed out. He's been doing really well down that left hand side and positive, getting the ball, driving forward, attacking. He put the cross in. It was a little bit deep, but Pippa was at the the other side, and it was a really credit to Fraser Campbell, because he obviously was expecting the cutback, but he got across the defenders and got the shot in, and obviously it went in off the far post. But I thought it was a real credit to Fraser for that. And then, of course, just shortly afterwards, it could easily have been two, because Bakker, dropped his shoulder, took it on his right foot, and a cracking shot against the post. And really, I think Freddie Woodman was perhaps a bit lucky, because the ball could easily have come back off the post, hit him and gone in the net. So, Town really had the bit between the teeth at that stage. And, it went on. And as Reid has rightly said, up until 5 or 6 minutes before half time, Town were really bossing it. And then there were just little signs of Swansea getting back in. And then, I didn't think it was a free kick before the goal. I thought it was an extremely soft free kick to be given against you. I'm not surprised Lewis O'Brien earned himself a booking for being so, aggrieved about it. But they didn't set up properly for the free kick, unfortunately, and it's gone in at the near post. But to respond to that disappointment just before half time, I thought was tremendous. Let's face it, this Swansea team, fourth in the league, best defence in the division, hadn't lost to anybody bar Man City since goodness knows when. This is a really good Swansea outfit, and to perform like Town did in the early stages of the second half and respond how they did, I thought was fantastic. And credit to Carlos Corberán at the outset, he set up correctly against this team. It was a well-picked and well-organised team. The performance was good from everyone. I don't think you could really pick fault with anyone particularly. And to come away with the points, having made that cracking start, was really good.
I was going to say, Reedy, Mel touched upon it there. Credit to Carlos Corberán for the way that he set up his side today. You've seen Swansea a fair amount. I mean, what did he do well to nullify their threat?
He matched them up, and he had a high press on them, and stopped them playing through. Matty Grimes normally will get on the ball and he'll get turned, but the amount of times Hogg got close to him, forced him backwards. Bacuna got close to him, forced him backwards, and the two centre forwards, closing Bennett down and making him play long. I was disappointed, obviously, as you covered there, with the goal, the free kick, because I didn't think it was a free kick either anyway. But to come back out and start off the way they did, they continued, the way they played the first half. Sometimes when you can see the goal in the second half, you come back out, you're a little bit low, a little bit lethargic, can't get going again. But, it just proves that the managers had a good influence again at half time by just saying, just keep doing what you're doing, because they did switch it really, really well. And when they went down to 10 men, then 4-1 up, 10 men, the game's done and dusted. I would have liked them to have moved it a little bit quicker into wide areas to create 2v1s to try and open some more space up. But at times they did do that. Just come back out, start again. And I think the boys who went off thoroughly deserved a little bit of a rest, because I thought, I've marked down 6 who were really impressive for me today. Hoggy, Bacuna, Lewis O'Brien, and the two boys up front as well, along with the young fullback. But saying that again, Keogh, what is he, 34, playing his 650 game, didn't look under pressure at all, was steady on the ball, came out with it really well. The two boys, I'm a bit unsure about. The other one, is it Sarr in possession? Naby Sarr, gave it away a couple of times and just forced them errors, and they're on the back foot then. As the old manager used to say, Warnock, defenders get paid for heading the ball and kicking people and playing the ball short. Simple as that. Once they start getting a bit in awe of everything and excited, coming forward with the ball, just play to the limitations, because ball in the air, you'll win everything in the air. So just stick to limitations. But again, the three of them didn't really come under any pressure from Swansea at all today. I
remember you kicking a few people, Reedy. I'm not so sure about that, but you weren't averse to kicking a few people.
I'd like to think I can play a little bit, Mel, as well.
I'm not denying that, mate. I'm not denying that.
It's interesting there, Mel, what Reedy said when you concede just before half-time. I mean, flashback to a week ago, we conceded just before half-time. We're 2-1 up against Wycombe, came out in the second half and looked like a different team. The guys looked dejected on the pitch. Today, the start of the second half, we came out and we were firing on all cylinders. It's that experience will have done the lads a world of good, but it's just in a week how much the kind of mentality and how much things have changed.
Yeah, I mean, if you wind it back to midweek, there was the team finished the game quite well up at Borough, and I think they did manage to carry that into this game a little bit. But having had that sort of setback just before half time, I thought it was a real credit to them, and it helps to get a goal again. It lifts everyone, and I was so pleased for Lewis O'Brien. Like Reedy said, he had a really good game. He looked more back to his old self at times in the first half. And to get on the end of that one, nice little build up, an assist from Fraser Campbell as well, having got a goal. There's an assist there from Fraser, and a nice little ball through for Lewis to drill that low shot in. And I was really pleased for Lewis. I think that was his first goal at the stadium as well.
Yeah, it was.
To be corrected, but I think it was. So I was really chuffed for Lewis because he's been back and done the team thing. He's played at left back, and then he's got back into his more natural sort of left-sided centre midfield position, that inside left position, if you like, in old money. And I was really pleased for him to get some reward for the work that Reedy pointed out earlier, the good work that they were doing pressing forward. And I was really, really chuffed for him.
Yeah, I think Lewis showed what he was all about, really, didn't he, today? He was very energetic, winning the ball back, driving us forwards, and then, like Mel said, a fantastic strike for his goal.
Yeah, the goal, the 3 goals they scored in the second half were excellent. They really were. As Mel said about Fraser Campbell's hold-up play for the one goal, he set the other one up as well with a little took a little bit of a deflection. But if you don't, if you're not going to shoot, you ain't going to score. It's as simple as that. And obviously with the 4th goal, it's just pure technique, cutting across the ball. No keeper's going to stop them. But it was interesting that, they created a little diamond on the left-hand side. There's 3 of them out there, and a little bit of interplay, just come in on his right foot and smashed in the top bin. And, I doubt if he'll score a better goal than that in his career.
Yeah, it was a fantastic strike, Mel. We might as well give him goal of the season now.
Yeah, I think a few fans weren't they, on social media? I think 1 or 2 have already picked up on that. It was one hell of a strike, and like Reedy says, there isn't a keeper on the planet who's going to keep that one out. And I was really pleased for him. He was in the right place at the right time, making the right run to score the first goal as well. And there was that neat little build-up in there. Fraser was involved again. I think he nodded it back to Aaron Rowe, didn't he? And then Aaron just slotted the ball through. So, Fraser Campbell's been involved in a lot, having worked very hard this season for the team, often in, unforgiving circumstances. And, today there's been some reward for him with a goal, an assist, and an involvement in a build-up. And that just sort of summed up the whole team thing, I think, today. Like Reeder's mentioned, all over the pitch, you've got people, above and beyond a decent performance and playing really well. And it's encouraging to see, like you say, Hoggy, big influence in the middle. Lewis has benefited from that. Dwayne Holmes driving forward again. And the 2 lads up front have worked hard defensively and well as well. And it hasn't enabled Swansea to really get into the game and play anywhere near their fluent best. And this is a team with some really good front line. Yep. Ayew and Morris and Jamal Lowe. They're up there in double figures with goals, these guys. And so you can't take your eye off them for a minute. But they haven't really been allowed to put too much pressure on, especially after that apart from the last 5 minutes of the first half. Town have defensively been very solid, and that'll be encouraging. It's just a shame it wasn't a clean sheet, but that'll be really encouraging for those defenders going forward. And I think we're talking about Toffs being back after his suspension, which is fantastic for everyone. He's possibly been our player of the season still. But Aaron Rowe has put down a real marker to be able to play in that attacking left-sided defensive role. And this is not something that's happened by accident either. Town have been working on that for a long time, haven't they? This has been the thick end of 12 months, getting that lad prepared to play from either left back or right back and show the attacking prowess that he's got as a winger. And we saw him score that fantastic goal against Plymouth in the FA Cup. And now today he's been rewarded by, putting Swansea under a lot of pressure and being involved in some goals. And that's great for Aaron Rowe.
We'll touch upon him a bit more, Reedy. I mean, it was a really nice assist for him, but defensively, he looked very strong going forwards. When he received the ball, he was always putting Connor Roberts under pressure, wasn't he? I mean, he could go onto his right. He's naturally right-footed, but equally with his left, he was whipping some great balls into the box.
Yeah, and the thing with obviously, again, I've watched a lot of Swansea this year. Connor Roberts has been probably Swansea's best performer. Every game, always consistent, dangerous going forward, can defend. But today, he was put on the back foot. 1v1, he got beat. Not easily, because the boy had to show a bit of skill. And I thought he was really, really good for someone who's 22, is he? Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got all my information in front of me. Yeah. Again, forced Connor back. So Connor didn't get into the game purely because he was always on the back foot. I would have liked him to have had the ball a little bit more, because when you've got the upper hand of someone, I could see Hoggy getting the ball and dictating with his arms, telling people where to go and that. And I think there was a couple of occasions where I think he was on to the winger, come and get the ball, but I couldn't really see on the little screen I was watching it on. But when someone's on top of the game like that, just give him the ball. Go on, keep going, keep encouraging him. And to be fair, the goal, again, it was a bit of a long cross, but the opposite wing back is there. That's his job. You've got to get up and down. If he hadn't been there, the ball probably would have gone out of play. But again, as Mel's already touched on it, very positive in possession, wants to go at people and can defend as well. So if you've got someone as a wing back who can do the offensive and defensive duties, I think you're onto a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mel, you mentioned Swansea's attacking prowess, but we haven't touched upon the fact that before today, they'd only actually conceded 15 goals all season. For Town to put them under that much pressure and to come here and look like the dominant side and be the dominant side is absolutely fantastic. It shows, doesn't it, that on our day, when we're enforcing what we're good at and believing in ourselves, that we can actually challenge pretty much anyone in this league.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it, haven't we, in the early part of the season. I think everyone appreciated how good that Town could be going forward. And that's against anybody. We've seen it all. We've seen it certainly through the first half of the season. And, it's just that in this latest spell, this 9 games before today, where things haven't quite been working out. And, people do get down in the doldrums. Confidence is lost. You pick up 2 points out of 24. What do you expect? Things haven't been going well for the team. And you've just got to keep believing that it's going to turn around. And it just needs, a little flick of a switch. Something like today, Lewis O'Brien's goal early in the second half. Forget about the equaliser. Let's go on and let's go again. Let's start again. And let's get back into that attacking mode and be positive on the ball. Be positive. I think at times during this bad run, we just haven't been positive enough on the ball. And that means defensively as well. Just be positive in everything you do. And certainly with Town, despite the injuries, we've had a stack of injuries, and you've got to bear that in mind. Despite that, there has still been attacking prowess in this team and ability to get forward and create chances, and they just haven't been going in the net. So today, I think the last time we scored 4, I think was Charlton, which was the last home match before the fans haven't been allowed in, which, today they would have loved it, wouldn't they, the second half, if there'd been a full stadium down there, especially after the run, which has been terrible for everyone, and it does affect people both inside and outside the club. And so to get back on the horse and come up with 3 points today, is a fantastic tonic for everyone looking at the games coming up.
Yeah, and I just wanted to touch upon Alex Vallejo and Jonathan Hogg, Mel. I mean, Reedy spoke earlier about Hogg dictating the play, pointing people, telling people where to go. But Alex Vallejo on the ball really complimented him, didn't he? Because he was picking the passes, creating space as well for Jonathan Hogg.
Yeah, indeed, he's very, very good on the ball. I mean, earlier in the season we had Carol Heiting, who sort of brought a similar touch of class to it as well. And I think Vallejo's had a very good game today. He's, he on the quiet, he can be a bit understated at times, but I think he's made a very valuable contribution and shown, he's a player who the club have, plucked from nowhere, basically. And he comes in and looks a very good Championship edition and one who can play in a variety of roles. So that's got to be a good thing as well, and Hoggy's contribution to the team doesn't need anyone talking about that. He is what he is in the middle. He's Mr. Huddersfield Town. So, the two of them in there have done a really good job today, and complemented by everyone else joining in and playing the part. And it really will have perked everyone up to get these points on the board today, to have ended the bad run and to have done it with a bit of style as well. I mean, and even, towards the end, we managed to get Jayden Brown and Richard Stearman back into the action at first team level. That makes your squad look that little bit stronger as well. So, it's been a good day all round. I don't think it could have gone much better for anyone. Maybe Kieran Phillips grabbing a goal would have been great, having hit the post the other night. But, Kieran Phillips is certainly a young lad who can make an impression in the final chapter of this season. And, to get him getting bits of action along the way can only be a big positive for Carlos and for the coaching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, the lads will be brimming with confidence now, won't they, going into the game against Derby on Tuesday night?
You would hope so. After a performance like that, the last thing you want as a manager is for the players to drop the standards. They've set the standards now again against a top quality team, so they've just got to. It's down to the players to keep that momentum going. You want them to carry on. You want them to keep getting on the ball. I think you've touched on the centre back. Is it Vallejo? It makes it easier for him when he's on the ball with the movement of Hogg in front of him and the movement of O'Brien in front of him. Because Hoggy was dropping into these full-back positions. If your wing-back isn't going to push on, then, he's going to get overloaded with opposition players. So, in general, all-round, I think the midfield made it easier for the boys at the back, to find them within passes. But you would hope they would not get overexcited about this win. Yes, it's a great win, but there's a next game to come now. You want to keep it going. I didn't realise they were so far down towards the bottom end of the league, if I'm honest. But obviously they've had a few bad results, bad run. But hopefully this will kickstart them again now. The last thing, again, what I've just said is, as a manager, you wouldn't want them to come out now Tuesday night and just go through the motions. Like, even I put down here again with 10 minutes to go, they're down to 10 men and they're still pressing. They're still trying to win the ball back, forcing that long ball. And that's what you want with the three big, I call them galoots at the back. You want the ball in the air because they're going to, and then you get your little Hoggy and O'Brien getting on the second ball and then dictating the play again. So you would hope they would want to continue their good form for themselves as well as the club and as well for the manager.
Yeah, hopefully this will kickstart the rest of the season. It's certainly one that's going to keep us smiling for a while. Reedy, Mel, thank you very much for joining us, and Huddersfield Town fans, thank you for watching.